AP will do it wrong, so we're here to do it right. Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert here with our Week 7 GE Top 25 poll. Our official set of rankings from us here at the channel. No bias from the AP poll, no bias from the playoff committee. We believe it's better than both of those combined, fully based on what we see in the games, taking resumes and the eye test and the margin of victory, taking everything into account, everything that the other voters do not do. And this set of rankings heading into this week is drastically different, because we just witnessed an amazing first weekend of October where 5 ranked teams went down, including 3 to unranked opponents, maybe none bigger than Penn State and Texas, the preseason number 1 and number 2 teams in the country, both losing to unranked teams. So a lot to break down here. Will Texas and Penn State remain in our top 25? Who will maybe crack into the top 10? Let's go ahead and jump into it. We got a lot to break down. The top 10 does not feature a lot of different changes, but we do have a major one, a significant one. We've got a new number 1 team in the country. That's right. We have moved Miami up to the number 1 team in the country, ahead of Ohio State. And that might come as a surprise to some, and that's not a dog on Ohio State, right? Ohio State's still a dang good football team. To me, I think if you're looking at best teams in the country, it's like 1A and 1B. And you can maybe make them interchangeable if you want. But from a resume standpoint, Miami is phenomenal. They've got the big win over Notre Dame. They've got the win over USF. They've got the win over Florida, which looks even better now that Florida has taken down Texas. And then they went on the road this last weekend and beat Florida State. You look at the score, it goes 28-22. You look at the score a little closer, and you go, oh, Florida State outgained them. That game was over by halftime, guys. I mean, Miami was leading 28-3. They were dominating that game before they took their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter, allowed the Seminoles to rack up some yards, rack up some points, and make it look a lot closer than the game really was. I don't see any really glaring weaknesses on this Miami team. They look really, really good, and again, arguably have the best resume of any team in the entire country. So I've got Miami up at number 1, right behind them. Again, 1A, 1B is Ohio State, who just took care of Minnesota 42-3. Again, a phenomenal team, but that Texas win for them, while impressive, while still good, certainly not holding as much weight as maybe they would have liked it to, due to the Longhorns now, in the AP's eyes, being unranked and already having 2 losses. But that's what we got. New number 1 team in the country, Miami, takes that top spot. Ohio State at 2, Oregon down a spot to 3 on their bye week. They've got a chance to get another resume-boosting win. They got that win over Penn State, which unfortunately doesn't look as good anymore now after they lost to UCLA, but do have that win in Happy Valley on the whiteout game, and they've got a big game this Saturday against Indiana. We'll have more on that game coming your way in just a few days. After that, number 4 through number 10 have remained the same. Really no need for any major shakeups other than putting Miami up at number 1. So Texas A&M through Georgia all are in the same spot as where we had them ranked last week. The Aggies started slow, but ended up beating Mississippi State 31-9. Oklahoma, without John Mateer, takes down Kent State 44-0. We've got Red River this weekend, Oklahoma and Texas. We'll touch more on that in a few days. Indiana was on a bye week, getting ready for that big game at Oregon. Alabama took care of Vanderbilt 30-14, a game that was a lot closer than that score would show too. It was 20-14 entering the fourth quarter, and then Alabama had that long drive, got them up 23-14, and then added an extra touchdown with just a few seconds left for a little insult to injury. But almost consider bumping Alabama up to number 6 over Indiana, kept them at number 7. Again, kind of interchangeable in my eyes as of right now, but the Crimson Tide, a massive, massive win. Started slow, got the win over the Commodores, and that's a huge resume-boosting win for them, in addition to what they did in Athens the week prior. Ole Miss on a bye week, they're at number 8. Texas Tech took care of Houston by 24, and then Georgia took care of Kentucky by 21, winning 35-14. So really no major changes there. And keep in mind, we had Penn State and Texas ranked outside of the top 10 last week. So it wasn't like they were in our top 10 and then we had to move them out, right? So that's why you don't see a whole lot of changes, especially from 4 through 10, because the Nittany Lions and the Longhorns weren't even in our top 10 heading into week 6. So minor shifts at the top. The rest stays the same. Let's see what we've got from 11 through 20. You'll notice Penn State and Texas are nowhere to be found yet. Maybe not at all. LSU, Georgia Tech, Tennessee, Michigan all moving up. Really didn't all have to do too much. Again, benefiting from teams ahead of them losing. We had Texas, Penn State, and Iowa State, who lost to Cincinnati, all ranked, I believe, in our top 14. So naturally, the teams that were right behind them moved up a few spots when they didn't even have to do anything, because LSU, Georgia Tech, and Tennessee, they didn't even play this last weekend, and they all move up a handful of spots. So LSU's at 11, Georgia Tech's at number 12, Tennessee's at number 13, all looking good there. Michigan's up 3 spots. They beat Wisconsin by 14, 24-10. Virginia is in our top 15. Now, some would say that's too high. Some would say that's too high. I disagree. Look, the Cavaliers are doing something special right now. Some would say, well, their win over Florida State doesn't look that good anymore because Florida State just lost to Miami. It may be so, right? It sure doesn't hold as much weight as they did when they beat them as a top 10 team. But what was it, double overtime against Florida State? And then to go on the road to Louisville, where no one was really giving them much of a chance. They were about a 7.5 point favorite on the road. Louisville certainly a much better team typically at home than they are on the road. I thought Louisville would win that game, and the Cavaliers won another overtime game. Was it 30-27? The Cavaliers deserve a lot of praise, and their schedule isn't that bad the rest of the way. Their lone loss by 3 earlier in the year to NC State. This Virginia team could be in store and could be doing something very special. And with the win over Florida State, with the win over Louisville, they've got better quality wins than maybe a team like Missouri, whose best wins, South Carolina, a team like BYU, a team like Illinois. I think they got a little bit of a better resume right now than some of the teams we have ahead of them. We had Virginia ranked 22nd. We now move them into the top 15. I would rank them no lower than 17th. The lowest they should be is 17th because this is a dang good football team. And again, if they don't get in their own way, they could easily finish this year 11-1, 10-2. That's how good this team is and how good their schedule lines up for them as well. So watch out for Virginia. Watch out for Virginia, what appears to be a wide open ACC. Missouri's up 3 spots. They didn't play, benefiting from the team that lost ahead of them. BYU's up 3 spots. They beat West Virginia by 14. Illinois is up 3 spots. They beat Purdue 43-27. Kind of got off to a slow start there. Got the win there. They host Ohio State this weekend. We'll have more analysis on that game later. Upset in Champaign? Maybe. Could be interesting. Vanderbilt, we only dropped a spot. We only dropped Vanderbilt a spot, and I think that's justified, right? I mean, the Commodores, you got to give them a lot of credit. They're going to drop. But I don't justify dropping Vanderbilt, 5 spots, 4 spots like some other teams will, or places will, right? They were in a position to take a 14-0 lead before Diego Pavia fumbled. They were in a position to take a late lead in the second half before Diego Pavia threw an interception. So 2 very bad turnovers and an inability to get off the field where Alabama had that, 16-play drive to get that 23-14 lead. Down by 6 entering the fourth quarter, 2 turnovers away from probably winning this game. Yes, they lost by 16, but really it was much closer than that, and it showed. Vanderbilt put up a great fight and played, I thought, really well in Tuscaloosa. So I don't think they should drop that far in our rankings. They still have a lot of talent. They could very well pull off a handful of upsets the rest of the way. Texas clearly isn't that good. They could beat LSU in Nashville. Vandy's the real deal, guys. I mean, don't sleep on them yet. Their hopes of everything are still very much right in front of them, so only dropping them a spot to number 19. Notre Dame into our rankings. I didn't have them ranked last week. I wanted to see more. They start 0-2. Their only losses are Miami, who I have at number 1, and Texas A&M, who I have at number 4. Those 2 losses by a combined 4 points. So I think Notre Dame is certainly a much better team than their record shows. And they've kind of taken out their frustrations these last couple of weeks, killing Purdue, killing Arkansas, and then killing Boise State in South Bend, 28-7. So Notre Dame starting to get hot. Favorable schedule the rest of the way. If they win out, there's a very good chance they can make the college football playoff at 10-2. Rounding out our top 25, 21 through 25. Penn State, Texas are not there. They don't deserve to be ranked. I'm sure many of you agree with me on that. That's not really breaking news or anything. But Penn State and Texas have both dropped out of our top 25. The teams that were ranked number 1 and number 2 by the AP to start the year, the teams that were ranked number 1 and number 2 by me to start the year, but I had Penn State at number 1, are both out and more than likely will not make the college football playoff because the schedule for them is just too difficult the rest of the way. They've already got 2 losses each. They got to win out. They're going to have to win out, both of them, and it's just not going to happen. There's no way it happens. So they are both out. Additionally, Florida State, who we had at number 23, they are out following their loss to Miami. And Louisville, who I had ranked at 24th, one of the few polls out there that had Louisville ranked, falls out after their loss to Virginia. So Arizona State, because of benefiting from the teams that lost ahead of them, moves up 4 spots all the way up to number 21. Cincinnati is now in our top 25, and I think very well justified too. The Bearcats beat Iowa State, previously unbeaten Iowa State, 38-30, highest scoring shootout. We're up 17-0 early, allowed the Cyclones to crawl back into it, but stopped them on downs multiple times. Iowa State missed a field goal. Mixture of Cincinnati winning that game and Iowa State also just giving that game away. But again, they didn't give it away from mistakes in the first quarter. Cincinnati came out firing on all cylinders and absolutely deserved to win that game. They could be the sleeper team in the Big 12. And again, with a wide open Big 12, Texas Tech's legit. Arizona State, Cincinnati, Iowa State still in contention. Utah's not ranked right now, could be in there by next week. They're looking really good. So going to be a very fun race in the Big 12, but Cincinnati does, in my opinion, deserve to be ranked. They're going to be ahead of Iowa State, who they just beat. We dropped the Cyclones 9 spots after losing by 8. And then how about some Group of 5 action? We haven't had a Group of 5 team ranked in a while. Boise State was in our preseason top 25. We ranked USF briefly, then they got killed by Miami. We haven't seen much. That Group of 5 race for the playoff spot is going to be very, very interesting. More than likely, that team is going to come out of the American Conference, whether it's USF, who we have ranked at 24th after killing Charlotte. Could be Memphis, who's undefeated. They have a power victory on their resume with a win over Arkansas. Could be Tulane, if they go on a tear. Could be North Texas, who plays USF this Friday. The American is a very interesting conference to watch out for, guys. They are more than likely going to produce that Group of 5 champion that makes the college football playoff. USF and Memphis, certainly the front runners right now, both in my eyes, deserving to be ranked. And going to be a very, very fun finish over these last couple of weeks, really these last almost 2 months, to see how these two teams fare. Very well could slip up, could be someone we don't expect to get in there, but these are absolutely the front runners, and I like USF over Memphis a little bit more. Even though USF has a loss, to me they have the better wins than Memphis. USF beating Boise State in week 1, beating Florida in the Swamp, which looks better now with that win over Texas, holds a little bit more weight for me for Memphis, who has played nobody, and that includes Arkansas, who's just downright terrible. So, there you go. Those are the teams that dropped out. Penn State, Texas, Florida State, Louisville. 4 teams out, 4 new teams in, which is Notre Dame, Cincinnati, USF, and Memphis. We've got a new number 1 team in the country in Miami. Handful of teams that are waiting. They're knocking on the door, waiting to get in, and they're going to get in probably next week. Week 7, guys, we got a great slate of games. We're going to be predicting them all week long. You're going to see, we saw 5 ranked teams lose in week 6. You're going to see just as many, if not more, lose in week 7. And that's not all coming from ranked versus ranked matchups. We're going to see a lot of upsets, a lot of ranked teams go down. If you thought week 6 was great, you haven't seen anything yet. Week 7 going to be even better, which means our week 8 GE Top 25. This time next week, going to be even crazier with a lot more shakeups, a lot more new teams. And of course, that's the beauty of college football. That's exactly what we love, what we do. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Leave your comments and your thoughts below. Let us know your rankings down in the comments below. Who's too high? Who's too low? Who's ranked that shouldn't be? Who's not ranked that should be? We want to hear from you. Leave it down there. Also, check out everything down in the description. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com. That's home to those expert picks. Some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country. Fresh off a 60% week in college football, and hit a parlay in there as well. So go sign up. The earlier you sign up, the better it's going to be for you, the more money you're going to make with us, again, as a member of our GE Nation. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.